let me tell you something. Look it, man. I've been an Atlanta fan for 45 years.
Late night vibes, we're turning up the heat. T-Will on the mic, can't accept defeat. My ATL sports show, he's running the game. Atlanta Falcons fly high, you know the name. In the heart of the A, where the pride runs deep. From the Braves to the Falcons, he's keeping it real, no sleep. He's got the scoop, every player, every play. Bringing the thunder every single day. T-Will, shining bright on the airwaves, bringing sports tonight. Atlanta heart, with a soul so free. My ATL sports show, it's the place to be.
Welcome, 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 ATL fans. Welcome, Georgia Bulldog fans. And to all of you Georgia Bulldog fans, whether you are in Georgia or anywhere else in the world, I salute you with the resounding Go Dogs. That's right, Go Dogs. Today, we are actually on our inaugural episode of Dogs in Focus with T. Will. That's right. Your weekly update, although we're doing 2 weeks this week, but your basically weekly update and review of the past week's game activities, current events, and the like. And of course, it is on the For My ATL Sports One network with your host, T. Will. So today we're looking into the past 2 Saturdays, what went sideways versus Alabama, and what snapped us back. With Kentucky, we've got receipts, box score truth, players of the game for all 4 teams, and what it means rolling into the heart of the SEC, which is what our beloved Dogs are now doing. So, again, a hearty and heartfelt welcome to all of you Dog fans tuning in. Love it. And hey, looking forward to a very, very, very successful season. And hopefully our Dogs can get back into the thick of it and win the whole thing like we've done twice before, right? So without any further ado, let's get to it. So let's talk about the game with Alabama, September 27th. Alabama wins this game 24-21. You know, a lot of people say that on that 4th down, Kirby probably should have kicked the field goal. Hindsight being 2020, could have gone either way, but unfortunately it didn't. I think what hurts about this loss most is the fact that Bama came into our house and beat us. If this had been on the road against Bama, it's probably a little more palatable or digestible, but this being in the house of the Dogs, that one just hurt. But anyway, Bama never trailed. Ty Simpson accounted for 3 TDs, 2 passing, 1 rushing. Georgia's lone turnover really hurt him. It was a lost fumble and a 24-14 halftime hold that they just could not get out of. So that's basically the scoreboard and what took place in the Alabama game. Against Kentucky, again, it was never in doubt. Now, some might say that Kentucky is not the opponent that Alabama is, and they're not. Let's be real, they're not. But hey, you know, a win is a win. It was much needed. And if we're going to win the whole thing, obviously we have to win out. And this was the first step. So Georgia wins this contest 35-14 on October 4th, again in Athens. Georgia came out and played big. They scored 4 rushing TDs, 2 from Gunnar Stockton, who looked great, by the way, scrambling, and 2 from Dillon Bell, which Dillon Bell is really coming on this year. He's having an outstanding season, and I'm very interested to see where he's going to go in the draft. Defense held Kentucky, and that's the Georgia defense, held them to 45 rushing yards. That's right, 45. I didn't stutter, rushing yards. So the defense got it done. Definitely. We held them to 14 points. I think they scored like 1 garbage TD towards the end. I think we had a backup quarterback in, and he, just made an ill-advised throw through an interception. They scored off that, but again, this was all dogs early and often, and yeah, the dogs came in and did what they needed to do. So the box score truth, UGA's offense was 227 rushing yards, and I think this is against Alabama. So UGA had 227 rushing yards again, 227 rushing yards. Chauncey Bowens went off for 119 rushing yards. We had 139, 130 passing yards. Stockton was 13 of 20 for 130. And that could have been better, especially since about 50 or 60 of those 130 yards were on one play. So if it was anything that we kind of lacked on, it was in the passing game in this game against Alabama. Alabama's offense, 24 of 38 for 276 yards, plus a rushing TD. They had a total of 280 yards. Bama's 24 first half points set the tone, and UGA was scoreless, held scoreless in the fourth. So, they kind of built a lead in the first half and just hung on for dear life. I truly believe that if we kick that field goal, obviously it's a different ball game, but hey, hindsight is 2020. But nonetheless, it was a good game. It came down to a few plays. They made them, we didn't. So, let's go on to the next game, which is the box score truth with Georgia and Kentucky. And this one isn't even close. UGA offense, Stockton was 15 to 23 for 196 yards. 6 of 48 rushing. Bell had 2 rushing TDs and 4 of 68 receiving for 183 total yards. So basically, Bell, in my opinion, was one of the stars of this game. UK offense, or University of Kentucky offense, QB Cutter Boley was 25 of 41 for 225 yards. Receiver Kendrick Law caught 6 receptions for 64 yards. And the run game again had 44 yards, which was 2 yards per carry, which was kind of pedestrian. So, all in all, the dogs pretty much shut them out early and often, right? That's pretty much what happened. Players of the game, Alabama and Georgia. Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson, resoundingly player of the game, 276 passing yards, 2 TDs, 1 rushing TD. Apologies. Georgia running back Chauncey Bowens, 12 carries for 119 yards. Clearly the superstar of the show from a Georgia perspective against Alabama. He really got it done. Kentucky at Georgia. For Georgia in this matchup, it would have to be Gunnar Stockton. 3 total TDs, 244 total yards. Kentucky, it was quarterback Cutler Boley, 225 yards, 2 TDs, and with the alternate being wide receiver Kendrick Law. So those are the players of the game for both contests. Let's look at what went wrong for Georgia against Alabama. So Georgia came out to a slow start. That was number one. And it just seems like in these contests, whenever we play Alabama, we oftentimes get off to, a slow start. And it's a climb the entire game. Whether we win or lose, they typically come out and start fast, and we don't. And we have to be better about that against this team. Ball security, we lost a fumble. We had 0 takeaways, and we really needed some. So Alabama didn't beat themselves. Look, it was a three-point margin. Again, if we kick the field goal there, and it's not like he wasn't within range. I understand why Kirby decided to go for it. He's probably thinking, okay, if we kick the field goal here, it's 7-8 minutes left. They could go down and score. We don't have a shot. Let's see if we can, push the envelope here and truly get ahead of them, right? And it didn't work out. I think Georgia tried to rush the play, and it just didn't work out, and sometimes that happens. But if it's me, quite candidly, I probably kick that field goal there. But again, that's me. What do I know? Passing issues, only 130 yards, and they had very few explosive plays. And this has pretty much been the even in the Kentucky game, there was some passing yards, but a lot of it was well, it was the quarterback actually rushing the ball. Gunnar Stockton looked good. There were a lot of design QB runs that we hit pay dirt on. Um, but again, the passing has got to be better if you're talking about winning a national championship. And again, it's still young in the season. Gunnar is still growing into his role as a quarterback, and hey, let's see where it goes. Um, Finishing scoreless fourth quarter, missed comeback. Again, you had to kick the field goal there. That's just me. If you kick the field goal there, at least you give yourself a chance to get to OT, or maybe even give them a stop and get the ball back and do something. But that was for me one of the deciding factors in this loss. Bama won, and they won in the trenches, but it's okay. Again, it was a close game. It was 24-21. I gotta believe if we see them again, we'll be ready. That's typically the way it goes. Like if they beat us in the regular season, we coming back and beat them in the postseason. So I'm really not worried about Alabama, so to speak. Look, at the SEC is tough, man, and I don't think one loss definitely. I don't think one loss even removes you from the possibility of winning the SEC, because I think I don't know that there'll be any undefeated teams coming out in the SEC, because they all cannibalize each other, right? They all, you know, basically beat up on each other. And so I don't know that there's an undefeated team that's going to come out of the SEC. It could be. I could be wrong. I just don't see it. And the other news is, if you're going to take a loss, it's best to take one early than take one late. So if you had to lose, you'd want to lose now, as opposed to week 10, week 11, when you're probably not going to recover from that as far as the standings are concerned. So, what went right versus Kentucky? The run game identity: 183 rushing yards, 4 TDs with QB runs and Bell's run and power, and that was great. Look, the play calling for this particular game was great, and a lot of great blocking by the offensive line and fullbacks and everybody involved in that. Great blocking, and great runs by the QB and by Dylan Bell. Quarterback control, Stockton rebounded with poise. The run defense held the University of Kentucky to 45 yards. And look, we came out and got a 14-0 lead really quick and kind of held on from there. So I think that, look, everything went right for Georgia against Kentucky. And, we got to get ready for next week and get after it. So we will see. But again, super excited about this win versus Kentucky. And hopefully this will get us on the right track and we can win out and win another national championship. Big picture: after the first home loss since 2019, Georgia bounced back strong. The Kentucky win restores confidence and shows the team's ability to respond. Lesson from Bama: protect the football and find the explosive plays downfield. And you got to take the ball away when you can. Okay. If there's an interception out there to be had, you can't miss it. You can't drop it. You got to get it. And we have to be fundamentally sound. Those are just my thoughts. 3 keys moving forward. Let's get some early action shots. Maybe some play action. But let's take some shots downfield early. You might just hit one. You might come out and get a touchdown, and you're up 7-0, and your team relaxes and it's domination from there. Second thing is, we need to create more turnovers. We've not done a great job of that, and we've got to be better at that going forward. Last but not least, keep the red zone identity. You get into the red zone, let's not monkey around. Let's do a QB scramble or some sort of fake or some sort of run to Dylan Bell. That seemed to work well this game. Let's go ahead and incorporate future plays or iterations of basically those two. And look, let's just put the ball in the hands of your star players. And when you do that, good things tend to happen. So, again, this has been Dogs in Focus. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. We will be back probably Monday of next week reporting on the Bulldog game. And yeah, to all you Bulldog fans out there, let's have a great season. And you can continue to find me at For My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. Again, the number 4, My ATL Sports, the number 1 on YouTube. You can find your Dogs coverage here every either Monday morning or Monday afternoon as we recap the game. Thanks to everyone who joined. You guys have an amazing day. Want to thank God for waking me up today. And hey, man, Mr. Eric Parker and Jack Spade, thank you for my starting this business. You guys have an amazing day, and go Dogs.
Let me tell you something. Look it, man. I've been an Atlanta fan for 45 years.
Turning up the heat, T-Will on the mic, can't accept defeat. My ATL Sports Show, he's running the game. Atlanta Falcons fly high, you know the name. In the heart of the A, where the pride runs deep. From the Braves to the Falcons, he's keeping it real, no sleep. He's got the scoop, every player, every play. Bringing the thunder every single day. T-Will, T-Will.